Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Oh boy, Donald Trump, he tried to put together a 250th anniversary concert, and there were 9 acts, and almost immediately, 7 of the 9 all dropped out. Some of them were saying their agents didn't tell them this was for Donald Trump. They got booked and everything. And when they found out this was Donald Trump and for the GOP, oh, they jumped ship real fast. Nobody, nobody wants to get up on that stage for Donald Trump. Nobody. So Donald Trump got mad and he canceled the 250th anniversary concert. And it was a lot of our people, and I found that strange. And I'm like, what happened to Kid Rock? Because he loves the hell out of Kid Rock. And, he loves that YMCA from the Village People. And I was like, well, maybe you should go to the people you like. I don't know if they were booked or not. I think Kid Rock was, but I'm not sure about the Village People. I'm not sure about them. But yeah, nobody wants to perform for Donald Trump, y'all. They all jump ship on him. So, I mean, I really think this is the precursor for what that 250th year anniversary for America. I think this is a precursor to what it's going to be like. And I'm still saying I don't believe a lot of people are going to be showing up down there in DC. Number one, the gas prices. Even if you live up and down the East Coast, it's still very expensive to drive to DC. And if you're in the Midwest or the West, you got to get on one of those flights and everything is high, you know? Then you got to think about food. You're going to have to pay for food. You know, people are going to look at it, y'all, and just sum up it's not worth taking the time to go to DC for this event. So it's still on the 4th of July, and they're trying to also come out with a $250 bill with Donald Trump's image on it. I do not feel it is necessary to have a $250 bill. I think going up to 100 is enough. So he wants these bills printed with his face on. You know this man. He got to have his ugly face on everything and his name. He think his name should be everywhere too. So it's going to be really interesting, but wow, look like the concert is a no-go. Wow, not much of a celebration if you can't even get entertainers there, Donald Trump. That's all I'm saying. Antithesis, thank you for your super chat and support for my channel. Alcha supporting, thank you so much. And Dark Skin Brother, thank you for your super chat. DC will be just like his military parade. You know what? It might actually be worse, Dark Skin Brother, because at least with the military parade, all this stuff that's going on now was not happening. But now, all this stuff with the gas and the food and the diesel and all that, I think this is a game changer. I don't think a lot of people are going to be, yeah, I think some people definitely will go down there. MAGA, they're dumb. They'll show up down there. But a lot of people are going to be thinking to themselves, you know what? We can eat at home, we can cook at home, and we ain't got to burn all our gas up. You know, is what I really believe that's what's going to happen. All right, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Can you imagine being a president and nobody wants to come near you and perform on stage? Oh, man, that's gotta suck. Thank you for the ones.
I am reporting live from the National Mall where Trump is threatening to cancel the America 250 concert because, and I quote, shit's had more pullouts than a Catholic school parking lot. But MAGAs are not having it because this pro-life crowd is not okay with late-term cancellations. Republicans are now trying to force these performers to carry the festival to term. MAGAs are demanding every performer listen to the heartbeat of the festival before canceling. Conservatives have been spotted outside the venue holding graphic photos of canceled set lists. Fearing for her life, Martina McBride waited until she'd crossed state lines before canceling. Conservatives are calling for her to be prosecuted, arguing the lineup was viable from the moment of conception. They insist that lineup could have grown up to become a Dr. Luke someday. Back to you, Jake.
So Donald Trump is freaking out again, this time because 7 out of 9 singers coming to the celebration on the Mall for the 4th of July have canceled. Why did they cancel? Because Trump tricked them into coming to what they thought was a bipartisan, objective celebration of America, but was actually a Trump organization, a MAGA group. So what happened was there was America 250, which was quite literally an objective, independent, bipartisan, congressionally established group to celebrate the nation's 250th anniversary. Well, that was okay. Trump then set up Freedom 250, which was this weird MAGA partisan group that he set up to push I don't know what. Well, he invited all the singers to come to the National Mall for this Freedom 250. And they thought, oh, this is nice. It's the 4th of July celebration. No, it was Trump's weird little MAGA thing. Now, why Trump needed a MAGA thing, we don't know. Well, we do know. He wanted to push himself. But he tweeted this weekend, furious now that all the performers have quit. We should have a giant Make America Great Again rally for 250 instead of having overpriced singers who nobody wants to hear, whose music is boring, and yet who do nothing but complain. Cancel it. Just like I canceled my involvement with the failing and unsafe to be in Kennedy Center because a highly conflicted, crooked federal judge said that I should not be allowed to spend my time and money in order to make the center great again, actually far greater than it ever was before. Trump is also freaking out because Friday, the anniversary, John Kennedy's birthday, the judge waited and said Trump had to remove his name from the Kennedy Center. So he said, I'm taking my money and going. He's pretending he gave hundreds of millions of dollars to the Kennedy Center. He didn't, of course. But he's saying, I'm going to go. I'm not going to even fix it at all. It's dangerous. My favorite part was, I love America too much that I just can't be here if you're going to leave the Kennedy Center in dangerous condition. So he says he's going to turn the Kennedy Center over to Congress. He's going to order the Commerce Department to give the Kennedy Center as an independent organization. It's got an independent board. It's, affiliated with the government, so to speak, but it's totally independent. He's going to give it to Congress and they can deal with it now. Anyway, so this is pretty funny. Yeah. So Trump's thing is imploding. It's funny. It's not funny, really. This is the 250th anniversary of our country. I remember the 200th anniversary. I was a kid at that point, and it was fun, and it was neat. And I even recorded the church bells going off at noon on that day. I still got the recording. It was very cool. Why does Donald Trump have to make it about him? Why does he have to make everything about him? Why did he have to turn this into a party? There's events going on around the country, wonderful events to celebrate our birthday, and Trump had to hijack the one in Washington. He couldn't have left the objective group, the independent group either. He had to hijack it and make it all about him. So the whole thing has imploded like it always does with Donald Trump. Yeah, best showman ever. Yeah. Do follow and share. Thanks, guys.
All right, what is this goofy stuff? Donald Trump is calling for the complete cancellation of his own administration's signature America 250 concert series. And the fallout behind the scenes is an absolute train wreck. What was supposed to be a bipartisan, star-studded celebration of the country's 250th birthday on the National Mall has disintegrated into a massive political branding nightmare within a matter of hours. The event, put together by the corporate-backed Freedom 250 group, was pitched to legendary acts as a patriotic, non-political gig. But the second the lineup dropped, the reality of the Trump administration's deep involvement became clear, triggering an unprecedented mass exodus of talent. More than half the headliners, including country icon Martina McBride, funk legends The Commodores, Morris Day and the Time, Young MC, and rock frontman Bret Michaels, immediately pulled out to escape the intense backlash from fans who accused them of picking a political side. The rollout was so disorganized that Milli Vanilli was plastered on the promotional flyer without ever being invited, leaving 90s icon Vanilla Ice as one of the lone remaining acts willing to defend the gig. Infuriated by the embarrassment, Trump took to Truth Social to slam the departing musicians as third-rate artists who got the yips, briefly bragged that he is the #1 attraction in the world anyway, and then issued a final command to cancel it entirely. Now, White House officials are privately calling the booking process a disaster. Heads are expected to roll over who botched the invitations, and aides are scrambled to figure out if they can pivot the vacant National Mall space into a massive, standalone Make America Great Again political rally instead.
Trump says he is thinking about bringing in what he calls the, quote, #1 attraction anywhere in the world to replace the concert. Yes, he is talking about himself and considering holding a big rally to kick off America's birthday bash instead of all that music.
After organizers of the Great American State Fair concert series announced several high-profile artists, including Martina McBride and Bret Michaels of Poison, headliners abruptly started pulling out. Michaels posting on Instagram, "Unfortunately, what was presented to us as a celebration of our country has evolved into something much more divisive than I agreed to be a part of." McBride said she thought it was a nonpartisan event, but that turned out to be misleading. Young MC, The Commodores, and Morris Day expressed similar sentiments. The group behind the event, Freedom 250, was launched by the Trump administration last year, separate from America 250, which is a bipartisan nonprofit throwing several official events. Now, President Trump is suggesting Freedom 250 cancel the concerts altogether, posting, "I understand artists are getting the yips. We should have a giant Make America Great Again rally for 250 instead of having overpriced singers." On X, Freedom 250 announced Trump will personally kick off this historic celebration in an opening ceremony celebrating America's 250th birthday.
Well, Vanilla Ice says he is honored to take the stage at Freedom 250, but it's still unclear if the organizers will replace all the other artists who dropped out or scrap the concerts altogether.
Some good news. I need some relief, and I'll tell you why. Because as many of you know, that big Freedom 250 concert that I'd so been looking forward to. And someone in the audience just died. The concert I've so been looking forward to has run into some problems.
6 musical artists originally announced as performers now dropping out, many citing political concerns.
The Commodores, Martina McBride, Morris Day and the Time, rapper Young MC, and Poison frontman Bret Michaels.
Tough break. Although at this point, wouldn't he just be MC? Or, brother, I feel you. I feel you. Or just like, you're as young as you feel, MC. 60 is the new 40 MC. Just, all right. But damn, they didn't want to be a part of Donald Trump's personal and political concert. Is anyone still performing?
America is turning 250. I'm super honored to do this concert with everybody. We're going to bring back the 90s.
There you go. See, everybody dropped out, but not Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice didn't drop out. He saw a problem, and he solved it. He solved it. You should really check out his hook. Love his DJ. All right. Again, say what you want. Very likable fellow. And by the way, the other artist who said that they are not bailing is CNC Music Factory, who, as you know, were devastated by globalization and the offshoring of most of America's music factories. Their front man, Freedom Williams, had an interesting, I would say somewhat philosophical take on the issue of the intersection of performance and politics.
Y'all gonna make this pretty 60-year-old unleash on you motherfuckers. I'm sitting on the toilet taking a shit.
Sir, if this is not a good time, we can certainly come back and discuss this later. But look, let's not focus on where he's making the video, or his Katniss and Peeta fanfic shirt, or the cottagecore wallpaper. Let's focus on the message.
The day I let you motherfuckers tell me what to do is the day I die.
All right, pretty straightforward. You love this country, critics be damned.
I don't give a about 250 years of motherfucking capitalism and death.
Maybe love was too strong a word. Why, Freedom, would you do the show celebrating 250 years of motherfucking capitalism and death?
Shit, you keep pushing me, I'll do the motherfucking show in North Korea, pissing on a fucking American flag, smoking a Cuban cigar, drinking Venezuelan wine, playing golf with motherfucking Kim Il-jung with an Iranian bitch on my lap, while Trump's standing there with his in his hand.
Everybody dance now. By the way, who's Kim Il-jung? Is that like the Mexican Kim Jong-un? He might be my favorite person in the world. But by the way, if you thought Freedom Williams ranting about our murderous nation and our president with his in his hand is the weirdest thing about how this concert is coming together, guess again.
According to CNN, quote, the concert lineup was heavily tilted toward legacy acts, and many of them shared the same booking agent in Jeff Epstein of Universal Attractions.
Ta-da! What the Jeff Epstein of Universal Attractions is in charge of, forgive me, recruiting talent for a Donald Trump party? That's what you're telling me? In planning our country's 250th birthday, somebody had to go into Donald Trump's office and say, I know just the guy.
President Trump is now calling for the cancellation of the major concert series that he was holding for America's 250th birthday celebration after so many musicians backed out of the event. In a Truth Social post he posted last night, Trump said to cancel it and that it should actually be replaced with what he called a giant MAGA rally. He criticized the performers as overpriced singers whose music is boring and claimed that nobody wants to see them. We're talking about the Great American State Fair, which is supposed to be a 16-day exposition scheduled to take place on the National Mall in front of the White House as part of the nation's semi-quincentennial celebrations. Organizers had announced a lineup of 9 musical acts, but at least 5 have since withdrawn. And what's extra weird is how several artists have actually said that they were never even told that the event was connected to anything having to do with President Trump or his administration. Country singer Martina McBride said that she had agreed to perform what she believed was a nonpartisan celebration before learning essentially otherwise. Bret Michaels, who is the frontman of Poison, said that the event had become much more divisive than he originally signed up for. The Commodores, Young MC, and Morris Day and the Time have also since pulled out, and Trump initially suggested an alternative rather than outright cancellation, replacing the performers with himself. In an earlier Truth Social post, he described himself as the #1 attraction anywhere in the world and claimed that he draws larger crowds than Elvis Presley did in his prime. Trump said that he wanted aides to explore the possibility of an America is Back rally where he would deliver a major speech. Behind the scenes, the rollout appears to have triggered frustration within the administration. According to the New York Times, a senior administration officials described the handling of artist invitations as a mess and suggested someone could be fired over this controversy. But not everybody has backed out. Vanilla Ice, for instance, says that he does still plan to perform, telling TMZ that the concert should not be political and that he performs for fans regardless of politics. 2 other acts, Flo Rida and CNC Music Factory, had not publicly confirmed whether they would remain in the lineup. This dispute comes just weeks before the celebration is scheduled to begin and has transformed what was intended to be a national birthday event into yet another political flashpoint, one that apparently nobody in music wants to have anything to do with.
Well, called it. Trump said, might as well cancel the 250th anniversary concert and make it a 250th anniversary rally. Yes, he's going to do a campaign rally instead. He says, why would I pay overpriced singers that are boring and nobody wants to hear when they could just listen to me? Yeah, that's when he said he's going to be the headliner. It's because it's not going to be a concert. It's going to be a rally, just like we called it. He says, I'm canceling the concert just like I'm canceling my involvement with the Kennedy senator because nobody wants anything nice. I was trying to make things nice. Yeah, so it was planned to be a rally the whole time. It's going to be just as boring as it always is. Probably no one will show up because he's got the biggest crowd size ever. But yeah, no. I mean, even his UFC fight is staged. You have to be a certain weight and you have to be recruited by the military, all this crap. It's all a lie. It's another big rally for Trump just to celebrate him. It's going to be just as big as his military parade. Bet on it.
Oh, well, it looked like the celebration, as far as the entertainment part of it, is dead. So, what is so special about a Donald Trump rally? I mean, seriously. So he gonna stand on the stage and babble for like what 2 straight hours? Oh man. Ooh, I know I'm not tuning in for that. But yeah, the entertainment is dead. And I was wondering why he got so many old school people anyway. You know, those groups are all like old school. And yeah, then I thought about it. I'm like, you couldn't even call up Nicki Minaj. You know, she was lapping up on your butt for a moment. You can't. Maybe she was mad because that Trump gold card was not her citizenship, so she ain't gonna have nothing to do with no celebration. But yeah, everybody's like old school. So, I mean, I would not have mind listening to some of their old songs, back in the day they had some good music out, but wow. Boy, you couldn't even Vanilla Ice? Who the hell's going to tune in to watch Vanilla Ice? I mean, Vanilla Ice. Come on, man. Ain't nobody tuning in to watch no Vanilla Ice. I can tell you that right up front. Mm-mm-mm. So, Douglas Ledger, thank you so much for the super sticker. And one of many ancestral shadows, you said hubris is spiking. Stay ready. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the warning and thank you for your support for my channel. Wow. Y'all, this couldn't be crazy. I'm so glad I'm living through this. I'm so I'm so glad I get to live through this and witness it. Who knew a president would be so unpopular that nobody would come to this big celebration he's been babbling about for over a year? How it was the 250th year of America, its anniversary. And I guess he thought he still think it's going to draw huge crowds of people. And I'm just telling y'all, I don't believe it will. I don't believe it will. So we shall see. It's only a few weeks away, July 4th. So we shall see. We'll all get to witness it. Well, if he cancels the whole show, even Vanilla Ice won't be performing. But I'm just saying, it's pretty lame when you got to get Vanilla Ice and he ain't sung nothing in ages. He ain't rapping ages, right? So his ass is probably going to be just lip syncing. He's probably going to be lip syncing. Yeah, America's anniversary looks like a big fail. That's a big fail. So, y'all, thank you for coming. I do have one more live that's coming up at 8:45, and we're going to be talking about the big Asian store boycott that people have already begun. And one Asian dude got on here challenging us to boycott them. And people are like, challenge accepted. That challenge accepted. So for me, it's not hard. I don't have to eat Chinese food. I don't have to go in their stores, their hair shops to get anything. I don't have to do none of that stuff. So the way I see it, y'all, they can have that stuff. I don't need that. I don't have to go in H Mart. I don't have to do none of that stuff. So we'll see how it turns out. But also don't forget to pick up your shampoo, pomade, and rice and aloe leave-in conditioner. You buy all three, you get 40% off. And the sale will end on the 7th. So y'all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you again at 8:45. Shalom, family.